Hey everyone, welcome back to Topher Drives, where today in front of us sits my latest purchase, a 1998 Lexus GS 400, finished in beautiful cinnabar pearl. Now, you may be wondering, why did you need a seventh car? And I do actually have a very good reason for that, and that is because every single other one of my cars is completely and utterly unusable during winter. So I needed something that I could have as a spare, as a backup, while I either don't have a press car or want to go somewhere where it would be inappropriate to take a press car, like to the junkyard or somewhere where I don't want to roll up in a $200,000 Maybach or something that week. I have something sitting in front of the house that I can drive, and this is what I decided to go with. I actually bought it from Copart, sight unseen. If you're unfamiliar with Copart, it's a salvage auction website, though this Lexus GS 400 does still retain a clean title. It was hit very lightly in the front. I'll put up some photos of what it looked like before, and over the past couple of weeks, myself and Keone from Cap's Garage and a couple of his family members and friends have helped rebuild this thing and get it back to its former glory. It had some disgusting black wheels on it when I got it, so I went for these OEM GS 300 chrome wheels, and my good friends over at Bridgestone hooked it up with a fresh set of Blizzak WS90s and 215/60 R16, the stock size for these chrome wheels. So I am all set up for winter with this thing, and I'm taking you all along on my first drive, my first real drive in this car. I've only put about 3 miles on it so far. I drove down the street, put gas in it. I didn't get it over 25 miles per hour. So there could be some things waiting for us, considering that I bought it from auction. Obviously, I didn't test drive it before, so I have no idea what to expect with this car. So I'm excited to take you all along with me. But before we go out on the road, we'll take a tour of this thing. I'll show you around it. I haven't even washed it yet. It's disgusting. And I'm kind of disappointed that the sun isn't out, because this cinnabar pearl color absolutely pops when some sun hits it. I actually don't even have my phone in my pocket to shine a light on it. And there's some bird dirt on it here too. It's overall really gross, but it's kind of like an orangish red. So that is quite neat. Let's pop the hood and show you what powers this thing. So when I was in college, my senior year of college, I was in the same kind of predicament. First world problem where I needed a winter car, and I actually bought a JZS 160 GS 300. It was silver with gray interior. It had actually these exact wheels on it. So this is reminding me of my youth a little bit, but I have owned one of these before. This is now my second one. And here we are. And I'll tell you, one of the main reasons I bought this car from auction, sight unseen, is because in the pictures I saw this, the timing belt replacement sticker, which told me this car has been very well maintained. And to a certain extent, I was right. There are a couple of items on this car when we had it up on the lift. It's got fresh struts on it. It's got some sections of fresh exhaust, not the whole thing. We'll get to that later. And then, of course, at some point, the timing belt's been done. I don't see any oil leaks or any leaks of any sort from this thing, so that is good. Anyways, though, very legendary engine, the Toyota 1UZ 4-liter V8. It's excellent, and I'm super excited to finally own a 1UZ powered Toyota. This makes 300 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Power is sent to the rear wheels only via a 5-speed automatic transmission, and this thing only weighs about 3,700 pounds, so I'm expecting it to be quite quick. I wouldn't really go and say fast, but I do expect it to be somewhat quick, so we will have to test out our performance today on our first drive. Let's go ahead and should pop the trunk. I don't know if that even works. Well, maybe we'll use the key fob. Probably have to have power on to use that. Key fob does work, and it also came with a valet key, so that's neat. And I have a second set of keys as well, so it came with 3 keys total. And there's my Copart receipt. We'll flip that over. Okay. Also kind of gross back here. I still need to detail the interior, but we do have the Lexus accessory mat in the back, and we have a full-size spare tire. This is back in the day. This car is actually, it's my age. It's 25 years old. This is back in the day when cars came with full-size spare tires, full-size spare wheel and tire. And not only is this a full-size spare, it's an extra wheel. So this is an aluminum wheel that would have matched all of the other wheels on this car when it was new. So this is just the basic 5-spoke wheel design, but it is a factory wheel. We have our amp there for our 7-speaker Nakamichi sound system, which we're not going to test out today because I don't have the correct adapter, but we will test it out eventually. One other thing I noticed is that the inner taillights aren't faded, which tells me that those have been replaced in the past, because every single Lexus GS 400 or 300 or pre-facelift JZS 160 car, they're all faded. If you know, you know. Pretty spacious back seat. We have a tan interior in this car. I think it... put that down. I think it goes nicely with the Cinnabar exterior color. Ah, yes, and this is a very cozy couch-like back seat. This is my first time sitting back here. Very nice door panel materials. We have this nice shiny wood. We have ashtrays for ashes back here on each door. If you are a, if you were in the 90s and you were a very important Japanese businessman and you were riding around in your Toyota Aristo, you could flick your cigarettes in those. Pop-out cup holders, very nice, and a very squishy armrest in the center. And we even have our own vents back here. Check that out. Very cool. We've got floor mats, got some backseat pockets. Very cool. Take a look up here at the dashboard. Pretty simple layout. I'm a little bummed. Later cars had a wood and leather steering wheel, but the earlier cars just had leather like this one has. So I'm a sucker for a good wood steering wheel, so I'm sad that this doesn't have that, but yeah. Keen-eyed viewers may have also noticed that I have a temporary plate on this car, and that is because I ordered a vanity plate for this thing, which is going to take 6 weeks to come in. So there may be a couple videos on this car before I have the proper license plate. Comment below what you think I got for this thing. Interior condition is pretty nice. The driver's seat is probably the worst part. There's a little tear right here on the leg bolster. And I suspect that this console has been replaced because it looks almost new and it doesn't entirely match the rest of the interior, but that's okay. These are known for wearing out and getting very disgusting, so. We have a power steering column in this 25-year-old car. We have a moonroof. Let some more light in there for us. Hello. We have lighted visors. We have HomeLink. Yeah, all of the good stuff. We have an auto-dimming rear view mirror. Let's take this thing for a drive. Now, this has been a Michigan car its entire life, and I'm sorry to say that it is quite rusty underneath, and due to that, it does have a bit of an exhaust leak, and I'm going to work on that. I'm going to try and work with a company and get some sort of aftermarket exhaust for this thing because I love the way the 1UZ sounds when it has an exhaust, but I'll give you guys a little bit of a taste of what it sounds like right now. So got some heat shield rattle, and overall there's a couple holes in the exhaust underneath, so it sounds a bit like a squatted truck at the moment, but we'll try and gloss over that and just enjoy our test drive. We have heated seats. I'm going to test that out. We've got 3 different drive modes. We have power, which is like sport, regular, and then snow mode. We have a button to turn our VSC off over here on the right-hand side. Again, Nakamichi sound system with a tape deck. I'm going to get an adapter for this with a thing to plug into my phone so we can listen to music. And yeah, okay. Why don't we take this thing for a drive and see what it's like? We have shift buttons on the steering wheel on a 25-year-old car. We have not necessarily paddle shifters because both of them on the back shift up and both of them on the front shift down. But I know people with the IS300s code their cars so that the left and right work like modern paddle shifters. So as far as plans go for this car, I think the only thing that I want to do is put an exhaust on it. And also it has a front end clunk that I want to sort out. It's probably just control arm bushings or something. But, you know, I expected this car to need some maintenance buying it sight unseen, though it does only have 116,000 miles on it, which is quite low for these. Usually, you know, you see these for sale on Facebook Marketplace with 200,000 or 300,000 miles on them, so This is the lowest, excuse, front end rattle, quite bad over that. This is the lowest mileage one that I have seen in quite a while that isn't on like Bring a Trailer or Cars and Bids or something. So while Keone from Cap's Garage had this thing up in the air doing the front end, I also had a fresh set of Brembo brake pads and rotors put on this. So it's got 4-corner brand new brakes. Oh. I also put fresh brake calipers up front as well. So I don't even want to discuss the amount of money that I've put into this car. Luckily, Bridgestone was there to help me with the tires, so that was one thing that I didn't have to pony up for, and I'm very thankful for them. And if you all need to have snow tires for your car, as you should if you live in a snowy climate, then you should go and get yourself a set of Blizzak WS90s. It is pretty quick, actually. It pulls nice up to the red line. Man, those brakes feel good too. A little bit of forward and back action. We may have to end up putting control arms on this sooner than later. Some of these older Lexuses are known for their wheels falling off because the control arm bushings just rot out. That's the end of that. Alright, sits nicely there at 60 miles per hour. Yeah, alright. Need to get some Tupac going on the Nakamichi. The heated seat works nice too. I'm feeling that starting to heat up now. Very nice and soft inputs on this car. It's got decently light steering, which is kind of vague, but it's okay. And that could be a bushing related thing too. I'm sure that'll strengthen things up, sharpen things when we put some new parts on the front end. I was gonna go for the pass on the Semi, but we will hold back because this Chevy Cruze is gonna match the speed. Super smooth shifts from this 5-speed automatic, and it almost does a little bit of like a ZF, like when it shifts gears, which is neat. I'm gonna turn that heated seat off, getting a little toasty. All right, we're gonna be cautious on this because I've not cornered in this car yet at all. Try kick down here. That's all she's got. Oh, nope, that's all she's got. Oh, that's very zesty. All right. I don't think it liked that too much, but woo, okay. Good stuff. I also have this thing on the steering wheel, which I suspect was kind of put in here because there are 2 little phone plugs in the console where this would have had a car phone when it was new. So that's kind of neat. Oh yeah. This is cool. I've always wanted a V8 GS, and it's what I originally wanted, but when I was broke in college, I couldn't afford anything other than the GS 300. In fact, I really shouldn't have been buying that GS 300. Ooh, that suspension sounds very poor. Should give it some from a dig and see how it accelerates. Why not? Dang, this is quick. That was 60. A little bit of wheel spin off the line, traction control, controlling our launch. Yeah, this car feels quite a bit more modern than it actually is. I love the backlit green cluster on this car that goes entirely out when you park it. You can't see the cluster until you start the car. Satisfying click from that turn signal. And we do also have automatic headlights, so we'll put that back into auto. Keone had them off because he was working on it inside, and they just stay on forever if they're inside, so makes sense. Speaking of Keone, if you guys want to see some of the work that he does in our warehouse, go and subscribe to Cap's Garage. I'll leave a link in the description. He's got a video up on the TheTopher's S2000. He's got a video on the TheTopher's BRZ. Pretty good dry performance here from these Blizzak WS90s. They're not complaining here at 50. Such a thick sidewall on this car too. Oh yeah, okay, so I need to get an exhaust. I'm thinking the Tanabe exhaust. It's generic for a 300 or a 400, but from the mid-pipe back they're the same. But any sort of exhaust that you put on these usually tends to sound pretty good. Is the clock correct? No, it is not. I don't know how to set the clock. Probably have to hold it. Cool, guys. Well, I am happy with this so far. I would also like to know why the wipers are sitting so high. That is strange. I thought maybe somebody shut it off while they were mid-cycle, but then you do it and then they just go right back to there. So no idea why those are sitting there. Maybe they're in service position. That's possible. I don't know how to get them back out of that, though. We have yellow fog lights on this car, which is cool. Road noises. I mean, wind and road noise, the only thing I'm getting is a slight drone from our exhaust leak, which is somewhere here in the middle. And then one of the mufflers has a hole in it, too. It's such a shame how these cars just rot, you know, being in Michigan. This car's been through 25 Michigan winters. Well, this is its 25th, and the road salt is just not kind to these old cars. And cars are getting a little bit better, but I mean, still not great. So it's just the reality. But yeah, this car feels good. I don't really have any complaints. We'll throw some new front end suspension parts on it. Like I mentioned earlier, it has fresh struts all around, so we don't have to worry about that. It's probably just I think it's, what I did control arms on my IS300. I forgot if it was upper or lower. I think it was the upper control arms. So I also want to do a comparison video between this and my 03 IS300 5-speed manual, because, I don't know, kind of a similar Y2K Lexus comparison. I think that would be fun. Of course, these cars were out at the same time, but by 03, this would have been a GS 430 with the updated engine. The 1UZ, though, man, the 1UZ is famous. I feel like somebody told me it was like military grade or something, whatever that means. Silky steering. Great low-end torque here from this car, and we do have a 65-ish 100 RPM, like 6450 redline. Try not to get rear-ended by a Grand Prix. Oh, nope, he's going to go around. Okay. Oh man, we forgot to test out the cruise control. I'll have to do that next time. Ah, ha, ha. Okay, I like this car. I've said that a bunch of times, but the wood shift knob does it for me too. Hopefully it doesn't sound too degen-y from the outside. I don't want to be disturbing the peace. I'm all right, actually, correction. I'm all right disturbing the peace with a proper exhaust, but I do feel bad disturbing the peace with an exhaust leak. There is a difference to us car people. All right. Cool. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me here on my first drive of my 98 Lexus GS 400. I am excited. Seatbelt needs to be power washed. That makes a racket too. Memory seats? Jeez. Okay. Just discovering more and more things. All right, guys, cool. Well, again, thank you so much for checking out my GS400 with me. I'm glad we got to go on the first drive together. That was quite a bit of fun, and excited to drive this thing around a little bit this winter. Hopefully we get some snow on the ground. We can test out the snow driving with the Blizzaks and with the GS400 as a whole. And look for this car over on the TheTopher channel as well. I'm going to take it to him, and he's going to do his full first impressions drive on it as well. But as for today, that will wrap it up. Comment down below a couple of things. What do you think I should do with this car as far as modifications go? I don't want to go too crazy. I don't want to like slam it on crazy wheels or anything like that. But as far as, maybe some mild performance modifications, let me know. Additionally, let me know what you want to see with this car. Do you want to see a road trip? Do you want to see commutes? Do you just want general ownership impressions, or do you not want to see it at all? I don't know. I just think that it's really cool, and I'm excited to feature it here on the channel. So there you go. Again, for the 4th time probably. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.